Alright, today's video is live play with commentary. I'm switching between a couple of tables. I'll edit it afterwards and make sure we just have the best bits included. Let me know what you think about this format, and I hope you enjoy this educational poker video. Let's go. Let's go up to 10.6. Fill in 4 bets. So we can jam, or we can call. I think this is a spot where even if we do have some kind of skill edge, it's going to be hard to realize it in a 4-bet pot out of position. It's just not really the sort of situation that you can outplay people very easily in, even if you do think you're a stronger player. Let's run it twice. Let's try and win 1. I think the goal is now to win 1. Good for 1. Okay, we opened under the gun here. 7-7-8. You can play a lot of check behind on these boards. They're boards that are very good for big blind, where big blind can build a donk range. The lower this pair is on the board, the more donk bet you're going to see here in equilibrium. Just going to check back this hand for now. Checking back a load of my overpairs here as well. This is going to be super mergy, weak. This is a borderline hand in equilibrium, like we're probably supposed to fold here. The thing is though, if I'm checking back, this is super exploitative what I'm doing here, but if I'm checking back lots of my overpairs here, I can have this small raise, and I think the speed and the sort of callousness of this bet, unless this is a prepared strategy where villain is putting big hands in here, is going to be very, very capped. So I'm just going for raise here, just based on the idea that too many hands are auto leading. This is now just a recreational player that has a good hand. That's what we're dealing with here, so we're folding. But I think leading that turn that quickly for that sizing is going to be a ton of like random hand bluff draw pocket pair. So raising and then blasting most rivers or sucking out is just going to be a really good proposition. So I'm a big fan of that play, even though it didn't work. You guys asked me to show you some hands that I think are good plays that happen not to work. There you go. That's an example. All right, King 5-4. This is definitely okay to bet small. It's okay to check. Do I have a preference? I guess I'm just not going to face enough check raise in this pool in general. So wild hands like this are, god damn it, every time I tempt fate, huh? So this is obviously still a continue, but our EV has dropped here. But yeah, my thought there is that, you know, talking about good plays that don't work out, I'm just probably not going to get check raised as often as I should, and therefore the bet's going to be slightly better than check. If I check, they lead the turn a ton, which is good for more stable showdown value hands. Like if I have queens, like I'm definitely just checking against a recreational player. But against a random player, it's also going to be a bit dicey to check a hand like ace-4. Like it'll be okay, but there'll be plenty of turns that I feel less good about calling on. I'd still be calling, obviously. But yeah, I think bet maybe slightly outperforms check there, but who cares? It's a small swing. I don't think I want to turn this into a bluff or anything. I have very limited showdown value here, but I have some. Okay, so 6-7, 7-8, ace deuce, ace 3. I think we win against enough here to call for half pot. It's an overbluff sizing. Got him. Definitely make that call, guys. Don't worry about the absolute hand strength of your hand there. Let's thank him. So we open king queen of clubs here. We got 3-3-8. Again, have a kind of recreational looking player maybe. I don't know this player well, so I don't know. I've not played enough hands yet to say for sure who's a rec and who's a reg, but let's go with the same ethos as before, that we're going to see bet a bit more loosely. So they raised a flush draw earlier, right? Just randomly. So very high EV, just continue here. Never going to be 3-betting. I think we're still actually doing really well with showdown value here. Villain can have like loads of backdoor hands, loads of spade draws, loads of club draws. Easy call. So that double pairs up. He snap checks river, indicating that he just probably has nothing. I wonder if he's raising like 9s, 10s here. Like what's his range in this spot? Probably no flushes with that timing. I don't think we want to go too big here, and we know this player's a bit spewy, so why don't we just block and see if we can induce some kind of stupidity. Like I don't think this guy's gonna have a value hand very often at all after the snap check here. Yeah. Oh, he did have the value hand. I mean, his raise size is really unambitious, so he snap checks the club flush on the river. That's interesting. But yeah, I like the block there because his range is going to be largely full of nothing, give ups, one pair. So by going small, we can get called by the one pair stuff while simultaneously doing pretty well against the nothing and getting it to spew sometimes. Obviously, it's a very clear bet call as played. So this is the classic situation where you must open ace-3 off. You absolutely must. If you don't open ace-3 off here, you don't deserve to play the game. You should stop immediately. You should hang up your poker boots. See? Told you.
Oh, look at this coach. He's saying told you so, and he stole the button. His results aren't it. He's a joke.
Shut up, you fucking basement dwellers. Okay, pocket queens on jack 8-7. I think I think I like big here against the recreational player. They're good, like on wet boards, recreational players are just going to overvalue stuff. They're going to underfold throughout flop and turn collectively because they're not adjusting enough to the decline in their relative hand strength. They're playing too much on absolute hand strength. I think this is just a check. Like, we've reached our investment ceiling almost. We've got one more bet in as maximum. We don't ever want to get raised off this equity. This is the closest example of a clear check that I've ever seen. And quick check by villain. There's some weaker flushes in range here. There's some 9x and stuff like that. I think just B75 here is probably about right. Got him. That's probably a good reason not to play the 9-3 pre-flop, is that you do end up getting coolered quite often. People like to say that. I was coolered. I had a straight and he had a flush. You see what I mean about absolute hand strength, guys? Like, clearly a straight is a bluff catcher there, but villain doesn't think twice about it. Does not think twice. If you fold this spot with the jack 8, quit the game, please. Do it immediately and write a letter to me letting me know that you've quit the game. Do it in the comments. Sign it yours sincerely, and enclose $100 as a fine for your insolence for folding jack 8. I think this is a reasonable blocker hand. Heart, diamond, rappy stuff, ample backdoors. Just going to go ahead and bet. Over here, by the way, we 3-bet the ace queen. Going to start with a small bet. We'll just bounce between these two hands. Spot could be underfolded now, though. It probably is, actually. I think flop's so overfolded, that's probably underfolded. Ace queen. Gonna check for now. I think this is close, but it's not an amazing value bet here. You can bet full, probably. I'm gonna check, and then I think we have a great value bet on river. Maybe not now. Like, this is gross. Okay, half pot. What the hell is bluffing here? Basically nothing. Everything got there. Even though we only need 25%, we basically never win. Villain just can't really be bluffing. Like, name me a bluff. Name me one. Name me a bluff. Bet you can't. Let's fold. Gonna give up the jack 8 as well. Again, I think just probably gonna be bluff caught too often on river here. Yes, I have a heart, etc. But after I big bet flop, villain's range is definitely moving a lot more towards showdown value. And you do just have to, control yourself a little bit against thinking players in spots where your range just arrives with a ton of terrible natural air. Like, you just can't lose your, shit in that spot every single time, or you're just gonna end up over bluffing, and very obviously so. I don't know this player, and 7-6 is kind of dicey, but these are the kind of spots that I think we can start to take when we have a clear game plan post-flop, which is to flop the 7-4-3 of hearts. You can lead one big here, or you can check. What do I want to do? Let's lead a big. Lead a big. Obviously leading to lead call. This will be some random spew in here. There'll be one heart hands, there'll be over pairs. The stuff we're live against, the stuff we're dead against. It's a really easy call. Gonna be checking back over here. Loads on boards like 5-4-3. Just gonna stick to that game plan. I don't see a good reason to deviate. We have the best hand a ton here. Villain didn't even think about leading turn, which makes me just want a 1/3 rather than check back and bluff catch river. If they took a bit more time, it might indicate that they're at least thinking about bluffing. We could also get calls from ace high, so I quite like that. I don't think I should value bet river. This is already getting pretty close, but I think we have to call again. So this is just a bluff catcher now. Here's a flush, okay. Yeah, I think we have to call turn. That's one of the hands we're totally crushed by, unfortunately, but the hand's just a little bit too good to fold. This is a pretty good 4-betting stack, where villain's really going to struggle to jam effectively. This is me now tempting fate with the jam. But we're a little bit deeper than 100 here. Yeah. So this is definitely a good plays that didn't work out video. Look at that face. It's like so bamboozled. That guy has like a 14 IQ, that emoji. Emojis have IQs. But yeah, harder for villain to jam. Way more likely the jamming range is just too strong. No 9 dealer. That's a great flop to fold on, right? It's a great flop to not invest anything pre with 9s. Okay, we invested a 3-bet, but you get the point. I think I'll make my 3-bet pre just a little bit smaller in these positions because I'm doing it really wide. This is normal, obviously, King Jack, but I'm doing it pretty wide and I don't think people are reacting that well to it. I think this will be a bit overfolded if I big bet here. I have the King of Hearts. Seems like a pure big bet to me against humans. 5 turn, you can probably play as like close to range check. Villain should definitely build a donking range on this turn, but they don't, which is nice. If we bink the King of the River and villain quickly checks, it's probably good for a value bet. Same with the Jack, actually. All in now if check to. If he has the nut flush, then well done. Good slow play. Oh, he finds the play before me. We have the king of hearts. We're probably supposed to call for a chop quite a lot here with this hand. Ace queen, ace 10, ace 9, ace 4, ace 5. I mean, surely we're supposed to call. Yeah, I think so. See, that's one of the better players in the pool that they find that, because that's such an automatic play there for a competent player, but a bad player will never find that. So they get the decent player tag. Okay, villain peels, queen 7-5. The easiest way to play here against pool is probably just to bet a lot. Pool's not going to be super aggro in these spots. I think betting outperforms checking a little bit. I'm sure you can split on this board, like 7s as possible, ace queen, king queen, like he hits this board. I guess better than most in this configuration, but I'm just going to stick with bet. I'm going to stick it in now, of course. Pretty happy about this. Don't think queens is ever raising, 7s might raise, but this is mostly just ace queen or a flush draw, or some kind of air. Very rarely is it air, actually, it's usually just ace queen. Or the flush draw. Let's gamble. Let's gamble. No red card. Well, actually, you can give me a red card that's a diamond. That's good. Diamond works. Because it's blue in real life, guys. It's blue in real life. Alright, that is it for today, guys. If you like these live play commentary videos, then do let me know. It's another format that I'll consider bringing into the mix more often. It's carrotcorner.com for all of our stuff, and I'll see you back here very soon for another poker educational video. Bye-bye.